In 1626, the Swedish king Gustavus Adolphus commissioned the construction of a grand warship named the Vasa. It was to be the crown jewel of the Swedish navy, a formidable vessel designed to strike fear into the hearts of enemies and showcase Sweden's naval supremacy. The ship was adorned with intricate carvings, towering masts, and an array of deadly cannons. After 2 years of meticulous craftsmanship, the Vasa was ready for its maiden voyage. On August 10, 1628, a large crowd gathered in Stockholm to witness the Vasa set sail. The atmosphere was festive, with music, cheers, and the smell of fresh bread and roasted meats filling the air. As the ship departed from the harbor, it was a magnificent sight. However, within minutes, disaster struck. A strong gust of wind caught the sails, causing the Vasa to tilt precariously. Water rushed into the lower gun ports, and the ship began to sink rapidly. Despite desperate efforts to save it, the Vasa plunged to the bottom of the Baltic Sea, taking with it more than 30 crew members. For over 300 years, the Vasa lay forgotten beneath the waves, until it was rediscovered in the 1950s. The ship was remarkably well preserved, protected by the cold, brackish waters of the Baltic Sea. In 1961, the Vasa was raised and restored, becoming a centerpiece of the Vasa Museum in Stockholm. Yet, as the ship was brought back to the surface, so too were the spirits of those who perished on that fateful day. Visitors to the museum began to report strange occurrences. Shadows moved independently of the light, ghostly figures appeared in photographs, and the sound of footsteps echoed through the empty halls. Some claimed to hear the faint cries of drowning sailors and the clinking of chains. The air grew thick with an inexplicable chill, and a sense of unease settled over those who ventured too close to the ancient ship. According to legend, the Vasa was cursed from the beginning. An old shipwright, dismissed by the king for questioning the ship's design, supposedly placed a curse on the vessel. He warned that the Vasa would never complete a voyage and that its crew would be doomed to wander the earth for eternity. Skeptics dismissed the curse as mere superstition, but the eerie events at the museum seemed to suggest otherwise. Museum staff reported an increase in paranormal activity. Items moved on their own, and strange, cold drafts swept through the building. Some employees refused to work late, fearing encounters with the restless spirits. Paranormal investigators who visited the museum were convinced that the Vasa was haunted, capturing eerie voices and inexplicable movements on their equipment. One stormy night, a young security guard named Eric was assigned to the museum's night shift. Despite hearing the ghost stories, he remained skeptical. As he patrolled the dimly lit halls, he felt a sudden drop in temperature. His flashlight flickered, and he heard the unmistakable sound of footsteps behind him. Spinning around, he saw nothing but shadows. Nervously, Eric continued his rounds, trying to shake off the growing sense of dread. As he approached the Vasa, he saw a figure standing on the deck. Thinking it was an intruder, he shouted, but the figure vanished before his eyes. Heart pounding, Eric climbed aboard the ship, determined to confront whatever was haunting the museum. Suddenly, the air grew icy, and Eric was enveloped in darkness. Ghostly sailors appeared around him, their faces twisted in agony. The sound of crashing waves and the creaking of the sinking ship filled his ears. Overwhelmed with terror, Eric stumbled and fell, losing consciousness. Eric was found the next morning, lying on the deck of the Vasa, pale and shivering. He was unable to speak about his experience, and his hair had turned white overnight. He left his job and moved away, never to return to Stockholm. The museum closed for a time, and a team of exorcists was brought in to cleanse the ship of its restless spirits. Though the paranormal activity subsided, the legend of the haunted Vasa endures. Visitors to the museum still report feeling an eerie presence and seeing ghostly apparitions. The Vasa remains a chilling reminder of the past, a ghost ship cursed to haunt the living, its spectral crew forever trapped between worlds.